Beer's Rich Tarr getting you set for tip-off here at Glacier Arena. The Rams lead the 16 games they've played all time, 14-2, including 10 in a row. But this is their first visit to the refurbished Glacier Arena, formerly known as Tom Cola Arena, in its second season of existence. Tonight's game is brought to you by City Fitness. City Fitness proud to present tonight's Atlantic 10 basketball matchup between the La Salle University Explorers and the VCU Rams. So, at midcourt, it is going to be Josiah Harris. He's been banged up a little bit, but who on the Explorer roster hasn't been? He wins the tip off of Lazar Djokovic. And the Explorers will start things off first. Rob Dockery trying to go to the rack. Gets the ball knocked away, keeps the possession, takes it up, and can't get it to go. Good defense there. But now it goes right to the hands of Ashton Walker, whose three-pointer won't go. Another offensive rebound for Rob Dockery. Gets it knocked away, but still retains possession with a fresh 20. And then a foul on the play, so a helter-skelter first couple of possessions, or first possession for the Explorers.
Yeah, ball's going out of bounds there, and just Archer was able to retrieve it with his foot.
Baseline jumper, pow! Jaden Marshall knocks down.
And that's a great sign for the Explorers, Cale. Jaden Marshall making his first shot and also starting tonight as well.
Might have only been a two-pointer, not a three-pointer, but a quick foul on the play. And Josiah Harris, who had limited action Saturday in the loss to St. Louis and did not play at all last Tuesday in Chicago against Loyola.
And we've talked in previous broadcasts about Jaden Marshall asking to come off the bench, and it was effective for a few games, but Coach Darius Nichols deciding to start him.
Yeah, Jaden Marshall has been the consistent scorer and really the most bona fide three-point threat for the Explorers all season long. He's been consistent. Marshall is making his 18th start and his 24th appearance. Djokovic can't tie the game up. He makes 1 out of 2 from the free throw line.
Expect to see a lot of VCU getting to the foul line today. They really forced the action at the rim.
And that's what Darius Nichols and the Explorers want to do, is get to the stripe. Here's Jaden Johnson pivoting and kicks it back out to Walker for 3. And that one won't go. So the Explorers open the first 2 from deep. With a 2-1 lead, Djokovic, Jadian Tracy with his first touch. Ball knocked away, back to the top of the key. Three-pointer won't go. Edwin Daniel came in after that first foul to Josiah Harris, gets his first board. Good
sign for the Explorers if Tracy's going to miss his first shot there. He's coming off of a 26-point performance against Dayton.
Jaden Johnson keeps the dribble, goes all the way through the zone, pops out the other side. Now Marshall gets that three-pointer blocked right into the hands of Ed Daniel. No-look pass. Dockery lets the defenders go by and lays it in.
Great patience by Rob Dockery on the inside. Little hesitation, pump fake, and 2 points.
And a 4-1 La Salle lead is Rob Dockery was held without a field goal last Tuesday night in Chicago. All his points came from the stripe, but he burst out of that on Saturday in the loss at St. Louis. Stepping inside and missing the shot on the rim is Evans, and then the Explorers had position on the rebound. And it'll be La Salle basketball leading 4-1 with 2 minutes, 20 seconds gone.
This VCU team is very dangerous because they're so versatile. All athletes on the floor right now that can play multiple different positions and guard multiple different positions as well.
Johnson, down the lane he goes, jump stops, double pumps, can't get the layup to go, ran out of air, and now an outlet pass to Jennings. Jennings in transition, shot partially blocked, but an offensive rebound right back up and in. First field goal of the game and for the Rams belongs to Jadrian Tracy.
Yeah, and expect VCU to do a lot of that today, pushing that ball up the court, trying to get to the rim.
Ashton Walker, screen set by Daniel. Walker into the paint he goes, pulls up, short runner, too short.
Yeah, just kind of short arm that one.
Evans forcing the issue, and he traveled. Now they'll call it a jump ball, so it'll stay with VCU with 16:59 to play here in the first half. Michael Bell will check into the lineup for the Rams.
Bell's another guy that just gives them a bunch of versatility. Can guard any position on the court.
Bell gets the inbounds pass, top of the key. Jennings breaks free. Jaden Johnson busts through Djokovic. Now Tracy, top of the key. Djokovic shoots over Jaden Johnson. Oh, a tip in from the weak side by Lewis. And VCU takes the 5-4 lead.
Yeah, Nick Lewis at 6'1", just crashing the boards, getting the tip in for an easy 2.
When healthy, the Explorers were one of the better rebounding teams in the Atlantic 10, but they've not been healthy most of the season. Only one other team in America with more injury minutes lost than the Explorers. Shot clock already under 10 with Truth Harris, who's checked into the game. He's going to pull up and take a jumper, banks it in. So the Truth comes out.
He called that, Cale. Did you hear it?
Absolutely. La Salle goes back on top, 7-5.
Can't let Djokovic catch it in there.
And he goes over the top.
Yeah.
They had help crashing from behind, but Jaden Marshall got there too late.
Yeah, you're talking about a 6'11" guy with great inside skills.
7-7 tie. Rob Dockery with one of those field goals. Gets some help by the official who kept that ball in play. Now Marshall, a pull-up jumper on the foul line, won't go. Spurs want Marshall to take more shots. That's what he's here to do. Ooh. Jennings got away with this extra step. Probing is Bell. Long skip pass, cross court, a catch and shoot 3. No good, weak side. An offensive rebound and rejected by Rob Dockery, right back into the hands of Bell, however. And he gets it rejected this time by Edwin Daniel, who then gets the ball knocked away, and a collision ensues, which takes us into the first scheduled break of the night. 15-13 to play at Glacier Arena. Edwin Daniel's going to get whistled, I believe, for the foul. We'll talk about it when we come back from break. A 7-7 tie as the Explorers have a block party happening in Philadelphia. But it'll be VCU ball when we come back out of the break. So just before the break, Jaden Marshall called for the foul and an unfortunate collision as the Explorers got a couple blocks in that sequence. Rob Dockery and Edwin Daniel sending it back. But then Daniel was sneaked up upon from behind, stolen away, and Marshall, in pursuit of the basketball, collided heavily. And so it'll be VCU basketball with a second opportunity. Tonight's game is brought to you by City Fitness, also proud sponsor of National Girls and Women's Sports Day here at Glacier Arena at La Salle University on 20th and Aldie in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. Cale Beers, Rich Starr joining you for a 7-7 tie with 15-13 to play here in the first half.
And Cale, the coaching staff was yelling to Edwin Daniels, grab it with 2 hands, and because he grabbed that with 1 hand, but he was trying to tell them the VCU player had his other hand. And he's like, he grabbed my hand, and he was just trying to let them know, but good effort by La Salle there.
So Nas Hart will check in the lineup for the Explorers. Ashton Walker's back in. Truth Harris, so a 3-guard lineup of Jaden Johnson, Truth Harris, and Ashton Walker. Rob Dockery is technically a guard, trapped in a forward's body. As we get to the 5-minute mark here in the first half, 15-minute mark here in the first half. 5 minutes expired. Bell looking to drive. Good denial by Dockery. 3-pointer barely grabs iron, but another offensive rebound on an awkward carom. Hill will capitalize with a 3-pointer from the top of the key, 10-7 VCU.
Yeah, he's so efficient offensively. He wastes no movement. Ball just swung to him, nailed a deep 3.
One of 4 players in double digits when these teams met last year at VCU. Rob Dockery going to the rack, rejected from behind. Bell using that length. One of the few people that can do that to Rob Dockery once he gets ahead of steam.
Yeah, Bell's just a real versatile player, as I mentioned earlier. At 6'8", just can guard several different positions on the court.
Now Jaden Johnson waiting for Nas Hart to set up a screen. Into the paint he goes. It kicks to the corner for Harris. Pow! Yeah. Truth Harris with 6 off the bench.
Yeah, credit Jaden Johnson with that really strong drive as if he was going to the basket and kicking it out for the open three.
And it's a 10-10 tie. 14 minutes and change to go here in the first half. Lewis fakes, drives, kicks. Tracy for three. He answers. 13-10 VCU.
Now keep your eye on some things on the defensive end here for La Salle. They're switching on everything, and it's creating some mismatches, which VCU is yet to take advantage of.
Johnson looking to penetrate, backs it out now. Penetrates again, backs it out, finds Harris. Truth Harris suffered his injuries in the non-conference schedule, missed about 7 games. Rob Dockery trying to go to work underneath on Bell. Steps up and under, keeps the pivot foot, fades away, and throws up an air ball. VCU with a 3-point lead, trying to add as Bell hits the brakes at the top of the key. Djokovic drives, draws the foul, gets the bucket. Naz Hart, the offender.
Yeah, just too strong for Naz Hart. Naz allowed him to get around the corner, and then Djokovic's strength just took over from there.
Josiah Harris made a start. Now he's back into the game. David Strand, a 3-point threat, comes off the bench along with Jade Marshall. Explorers go 3 for 3. Substitutions. Djokovic goes back to the stripe for the second time. He was 1 for 2 on his first visit. Misses the and one. Rebound chased down by Jaden Marshall.
Yeah, shooting 77.8% from the line, too. Already with 2 misses.
Ashton Walker, Virginia native. Drives around baseline and was chased down from behind the whole way. Nick Lewis wasn't giving up. Bell pivots, drives, kicks. Evans beyond the arc.
That was an impressive play by Lewis.
Djokovic on the elbow, spins into a double team and fouled by Rob Dockery with 12:52 to play. Dockery saying what happened on the other end of the floor. Dockery picks up his first. Lewis out. Ahmad Noel checks into the lineup.
Yeah, this is a very deep VCU team.
Also seeing his first action is Terrell Ward. Hill trying to turn the corner. And alley-oop, Ward's on the receiving end.
Yeah, that was actually Evans on the receiving end of that alley-oop. Terrific pass.
Yeah, Evans, 5, not 15.
Yeah, just came out of nowhere.
Now Ashton Walker hesitates, drives, layup good. Ashton Walker makes the tough ones. And he ends a 7-0 run for the Rams there.
Terrell Ward's an interesting story for VCU. Earlier in the year, Cale, he went 5 games without scoring, playing minimal minutes. In the last 6 games, he's averaging over 10 points a game.
Evans forced into picking up his dribble. Hill sizes up David Strand and strokes an air ball. That's out of bounds. It'll be La Salle basketball on the other side of the 12-minute media timeout. VCU 17. La Salle 12. 11 minutes and 56 seconds to play here in the first half from Glacier Arena at La Salle University. This is Atlantic 10 basketball on ESPN+. VCU's hit 4 out of their last 5 shots. Propelled themselves to a 7-0 run. Ashley Walker ended that run. It's a 17-12 VCU lead. Tonight's game is brought to you by City Fitness. 11:56 to play. Now, 3-point shooting for opponents has at times been a real problem for the Explorers. Teams just seem at times to be able to torch the Explorers and in bunches. Saturday, La Salle was hanging with St. Louis in the second half at Chaffetz Arena. St. Louis, the top 20 team in the nation, until the Billikens rattled off 4 3-pointers in the span of about 90 seconds. And that's the extreme case. But this VCU team shoots 36% from beyond the arc, and that's about what the Explorers give up. They've hit 2 so far tonight.
Yeah, La Salle's doing a decent job of hanging in there. They're playing solid defense. I'd like to see a little more movement on the offensive end. They just got to handle this pressure that VCU's applying right now.
The last 3-point attempt was an air ball. It tickled the net. It kind of looked like it was a swish, but it goes out of bounds. And So La Salle takes over, trying to cut into a 5-point deficit here with under 12 minutes to play in the first half. Jaden Johnson, excellent point guard, one of the A-10 leaders in assist to turnover ratio. Now Walker's going to drive, pump fakes, defender goes by, and then is fouled on the way back up. So Ashton Walker will go to the free throw line. The Explorers also a hit-or-miss squad from the stripe. They have had games like their win against St. Bonaventure when they went 20 for 20 from the stripe, and they've had 3 for 8 nights on the stripe.
Keep an eye on this VCU team, though. They're very handsy. If you looked at that possession, they've got their hands on 2 different balls. They ended up fouling on that particular play, but they're also very good when that ball goes in the post. Their guards are going to help down and scrape down and try to create a turnover.
Ashton Walker, 61% shooter, makes 1 out of 2, and it's a 17-13 VCU lead with 11:34 to play. Hill, guarded by Johnson. Johnson fouled out on Saturday against St. Louis. All 5 fouls coming in the second half. Explorers really short-handed at the point. There's a double team on the far side. Damon Strand. Now Bell looking to go baseline on Josiah Harris with 5 on the shot clock. Bell keeps the dribble, forces his way in, can't get it to go. The tip back won't go, but Bell gets it back up. And that lay-in won't go either, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ashton Walker.
On that possession, Cale, Jaden Johnson did a really nice job of fighting over the screen so that La Salle didn't have to switch on Hill, and I think that's something they're going to look to do. Normally, La Salle typically switches on everything. Against Hill, he's such an efficient scorer. They're fighting over that screen so they don't create mismatches.
7 offensive rebounds for the Rams. They have 7 second chance points. The Explorers also have 7 second chance points on 4 offensive boards. But here's another opportunity for the potent Rams offense with 11 minutes to play. A long skip pass to the far side. Walker goes for the pump fake.
Yeah, got to stay down, make them shoot over your contested three-point shot.
Well, Bell with 4 on the shot clock, knocked away, turnover, and now here comes Josiah Harris. Dockery in transition, goes for the dunk, and it's partially blocked. Harris is there for the rebound, and then is fouled on the deck. What an athletic play there to prevent Rob Dockery. That's twice now he's been denied on takes.
Yeah, their length and athleticism has been causing La Salle problems early on here in the game.
So the foul, I believe, is going to go on Djokovic. The inbound to Harris. Josiah Harris going to work on Djokovic. Hook shot off the glass and in. And Josiah Harris cuts the VCU lead down to 2.
Nice aggressive play by Harris. He looked for the body contact and then was able to float it over the outstretched hands of Djokovic.
A mishandled ball goes back to midcourt where it's chased down by Noel. Djokovic, double team comes on. Truth Harris, he got handsy.
Yep, but that's good help. I mean, that's a foul that you're willing to give up there because Djokovic had the position inside. At 6'11", he's going to go up over Josiah Harris.
That previous foul was on Bell, by the way. Now a 10:05 to play. VCU. Entry pass goes inside. Djokovic gets to the rack, draws the foul. Ashton Walker tried to draw the charge.
Yeah, so that's the problem with when you switch everything. If you're switching everything, it creates mismatch. And like I said earlier, VCU has yet to take advantage of those mismatches, but it looks like they're making a conscious effort right now to do that.
Truth Harris whistled for the foul. Djokovic goes back to the free throw line for his 3rd trip. 1 for 3 thus far. Transfer from Charleston. Swishes the first one.
Yeah, he started his career as a freshman at Xavier, then went to Charleston, and now here he is at VCU having a big impact.
Jaden Marshall checks back in the lineup for the Explorers. And Djokovic rattles the second one home.
I think VCU currently has 4 players in the NBA. I just look at Djokovic, and I think he's going to be number 5.
19-15. VCU answering a 5-0 La Salle run. Jaden Johnson finds Edwin Daniel. Pump fakes off the glass and in.
Nice job by Daniel switching that ball to his left hand so that Djokovic didn't have a good angle to block it.
Djokovic trying to turn the corner. Now a head off to Lewis. Denied the penetration is Jennings. That's going to be whistle number 7 on the Explorers. So VCU will be shooting the rest of the way. Daniel picks up his second.
But see, that's a result of switching on everything. Daniels is trying to guard Hill on the outside. At his size, he doesn't have the quickness or lateral movement to be able to do that.
So Jennings to the stripe, 87%. VCU as a team, 75% from the stripe. Misses the front end of the 1-on-1, and 2 Explorers are there. The shorter one, Jaden Johnson, comes out with the rebound. So the Rams just 3 for 6 from the stripe. Johnson dishes it off to Daniel. Daniel has it stripped away despite avoiding the first block attempt. Now Lewis turns it up court. Bell lays it off.
Yeah, this VCU team, they just challenge everything.
Long cross-court pass to Lewis. Into the paint he goes. Steps up and under. Oh, just beyond the leaping Edwin Daniel looking for the block shot. Instead, it's a 21-17 VCU lead.
At 6'1", Lewis just loves to get to the basket and attack the rim.
Truth Harris, already 6 points in this game. Now Jaden Marshall over the top to Daniel. Daniel's trying to work on Djokovic. Skips it back out to Walker. 10 on the shot clock. Walker draws a double team. Gets back out, cutting through the paint. Truth Harris. He's fouled on the way up.
They're going to call it on the floor.
Yeah, on the floor. It's going to be Bell.
Kind of got bailed out there. Not much Truth Harris was going to do with that basketball in that position with 2 giants surrounding him.
Back in the lineup comes Tyrell Ward. He replaces Bell. With 8:34 to play here in the first half, VCU on top 21-17. Last year, the only meeting between these two squads down at Siegel Center in Richmond. A 30-point VCU win, never close.
So far, La Salle's doing a really nice job of slowing VCU down. They're being a little methodical on the offensive end.
Walker thinks about a 3, instead puts it on the deck, avoids a double team, now chases it down. They dive for it. And Walker gets it to Johnson, but not enough time left on the shot clock. And so it counts as a turnover, the second of the game for the Explorers.
Yeah, not a great possession. La Salle's got to move that ball on the offensive end.
You think Aston Walker might have made that life harder for himself? He had a wide open 3, drove into traffic, and then got himself tied up.
Yeah, and this VCU, like they give you nothing. You know, they make you earn everything.
Tracy into the paint. He goes. Layup no good, but a putback dunk by Djokovic is.
So here's a guy at 6'11", Cale, with a 41-inch vertical leap. You got to get a body on him and keep him away from the rim.
23-17, the VCU lead, under 8 to play. First half. Johnson to Walker. Johnson, not a big threat to shoot it out there. Drives instead, pivots and jump passes back out to Marshall. Marshall. Wow, is going to be the beneficiary of a foul as we go into break. Jaden Marshall got himself a little top-heavy, bailed out by the whistle with 7:36 to play here in the first half. Edwin Daniel just a couple inches behind that one, and Djokovic cleans it up. 7:36 to play, 23-17, VCU on top. Well, a little bit of a reunion here at Glazier Arena. VCU head coach Phil Martelli Jr. in the stands. No stranger to Philadelphia basketball.
Yeah, Cale, Phil Martelli Jr. Yesterday in his press conference talked about the relationship he's had with Coach Speedy Morris and his family, Fran Dunphy and his family, and of course he was an assistant coach with Joe Mihalik up at Niagara. And that's what I love about this thing called the Big Five. It just creates such unity.
Truth Harris on the inbound. Pow! They're going to give him 2 on that one. Say it wasn't inside. It was inside the arc. But Harris with 8 points coming off the bench. And it's a 23-19 lead for VCU.
And I had a chance to talk to Phil Martelli Sr., and at some point I'll share that conversation with you.
Tracy with a strong drive and gets the roll.
Tracy going down the left side, switching the ball from the right hand to the left hand as he lays it in over the rim.
So the 25-19 VCU advantage. Truth Harris, he's got to drive again this time. Scoop, shot, layup, no good. Draws the foul. That's going to be team foul number 6 on the Rams, and Truth Harris will find himself on the stripe. Harris, one of the players that played for first-year La Salle head coach Darius Nichols at Radford.
Give Harris credit at his size. He's forcing the action in there, and so far he's created 2 opportunities to create fouls for the Explorers.
Truth rolled his ankle in the opening game of the season, missed the next 6 games. This is only his 11th and 12th free throw attempts of the year. Extremely low for a perimeter player with his size.
Well, that's what this VCU team can do to you as well, is they guard you so tough. They force you to put the ball on the floor.
Harris with his 9th point here in the first half. The New York native makes 2 out of 2.
Here's some pressure by La Salle, some half-court pressure.
25-21, the VCU advantage. They break the pressure, miss the three-pointer, but Djokovic is there, gets the rebound, and lays it up and in. Not much you can do about that.
No, he's just bigger and stronger than everybody on the floor right now.
11 points, 4 rebounds. A 6-point lead for the Rams. Marshall feeds the post. Harris avoids the double team. Off the glass, no good. Put back, no good. Another put back. Chased down by the Rams. Jennings in transition. Jennings going to drive to the rack, and he gets in there. Finishes with the left hand. 29-21 VCU.
They're just so quick offensively. Very difficult for the La Salle to stay in front.
Largest lead of the game now for the Rams. They're shooting 40% from the field and 40% from the arc. Walker feeds the post, but it goes right to the defender and then right into the hands of Truth Harris. And three-pointer won't go. Missed opportunity. Griff trapped for the Explorers, who are 2 for 6 from beyond the arc.
That's a mismatch inside.
Truth Harris doing his best, forces an erratic shot, and Harris gets the rebound off the Lewis miss.
Yeah, not a good shot attempt by Lewis.
Harris running the point as Jaden Johnson gets a breather.
La Salle in need of a basket on this possession.
Marshall drives to the rack and again bailed out by the same player. Brandon Jennings fouls Marshall twice now, and both situations where it looked like it could have been a travel on Jaden Marshall. Instead, he'll be on the stripe for 2.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Cale, but I think the fact that he's drawing the contact, if you look here, he's just drawing the contact, and then he throws something up there. That's a tough one. I can understand why Phil Martelli Jr. is upset.
So Marshall, an excellent free throw shooter, gets the roll on this one. La Salle's leading scorer is an 88% shooter from the free throw line, 3rd best in the Atlantic 10.
Both teams ushering in players right now.
Strand and Jaden Johnson back in the lineup. Marshall has only got 3 shots off so far. And he goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Rob Dockery checks back into the lineup. Dockery with 2 personal fouls. So as shorthanded as the Explorers are, we'll talk about the injury bug that's plagued this team. And I've been doing La Salle basketball for 30 years. Never have I seen anything close to the injuries and issues that have forced Explorers not to play as this one. So foul trouble has become more of an issue in recent weeks. Hill gets his shot partially blocked into the hands of Rob Dockery.
Yeah, nice job by Damon Strand with full extension there to get his hand on that basketball.
Damon Strand didn't see a lot of playing time at the end of the conference play, but now with the injuries, he's coming in and making a difference. Johnson barely draws iron. Rob Dockery's there, and he gets it off the glass and in. So the Explorers were trailing by a game-high 8 points. They've cut that in half.
Yeah, Rob Dockery has done a really good job on the offensive glass thus far in this game.
Ward. Oh, near turnover, but it rolls right into the hands of Nick Lewis. They feed Djokovic. Oh, rejected. Second man in is Edwin Daniel. And then a diagonal pass. They could not thread the needle, but it will remain La Salle basketball. Djokovic emphatically asking for some help on the other side with the officials.
Yeah, he's saying nobody blocks my shot like that. Let's see if he got him.
Edwin Daniel came from behind.
That's a clean block.
That wasn't a block. That was a spike. That was a kill. 4:13 to play. La Salle trying to get it to one possession. Dockery. Marshall for three. Gets the roll. In the town that was sunk by Kawhi Leonard with a shot like that. Jaden Marshall hits his first three and forces a timeout with 4:01 to play.
We call that a soft touch, Cale. When the ball hits the front of the rim, bounces straight up in the air and goes in.
And so Phil Martelli Jr. calls a timeout, and that'll give us a chance to take a break. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by City Fitness with 4:01 to play, 29-28. Thanks to Jaden Marshall getting the home bounce. Rim, glass, nets. Well, one of the things that Darius Nichols talked about being a coach in Philadelphia in the Big Five and with a robust professional sports team, he said, in Radford, no one just stops by to practice. I have an open practice, but no one just stops by. Here, every day somebody's popping in. NBA scouts, NBA coaches, friends of the program. So it's not unusual to come to a La Salle game or any game in Philadelphia and see a bunch of head coaches. Fran Dunphy, former La Salle head coach, a future Hall of Famer, is in attendance. And, of course, Phil Martelli's here for a very specific reason, but it's not the first time he's been in this building this year. But tonight.
No, certainly not. And I had an opportunity to talk to Phil Martelli Sr. prior to the game. And I asked him, I said, let me ask you something, Coach. I said, do you look at every one of your son's games and critique them after they're played? He goes, absolutely not. He said, I didn't even look at my own games. He said, I would have my assistants coaches do it because I was way too critical on my team. I thought that was an interesting comment.
So after VCU opened up their largest lead of the game at 8 points, the Explorers have cut it back down to 1. With under 4 minutes to play, VCU looking for the answer. High off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped again to the top of the key. Another offensive board now. And a second chance for the Rams. Three-pointer by Tracy. That won't go. Truth Harris gets the rebound, and the Explorers can take their first lead with a conversion here.
Yeah, how about that? Smallest guy on the floor and comes up with the rebound right under the basket.
Explorers were being out-rebounded by 8 at one point. That difference is down to 4. Now David Strand, top of the key, looking for an entry pass to Daniel. Daniel going to work on the inside, draws a foul. Mitchell just into the game. Keyshawn Mitchell, 6'11" out of Brooklyn, New York, and a transfer from Bryant.
I thought that was a smart play by Daniel to face up and then try to pull that ball through from left to right. Not much the defender could do there except possibly take a step back.
So Mitchell comes right back out of the game as Djokovic checks back in. And it's Edwin Daniel that can reclaim the lead for the Explorers with 2 shots and 3:10 to play.
And again, La Salle kind of bringing this game to a halt on the offensive end.
Daniel hits the first free throw. Edwin 11 for 22 from the stripe this season, just 48%, but he's got a chance to give the Explorers their first lead since they were up 7-5.
This is a VCU team that's averaging 80 points a game right now with 3:10 to go. They have 29 points.
He misses the second shot. They kept a St. Louis team that averages 91 below that on Saturday. So there are positive signs. Here's a steal from behind. David Strand steps in. Navigating midcourt, Walker behind the back. He goes, pulls up the foul line, and the Explorers are on top.
Yeah, what a great move by Walker there. Just pushing the ball up the floor, was very patient, kind of waited for Djokovic to pass him by.
Just the second turnover by the Rams, but 4 points off those 2 turnovers. Now 2:37 to play. La Salle with its first lead since the 16-16 mark. Tracy. Djokovic beyond the arc. Looking to drive. Avoids a double team and rejected by Edwin Daniel. No, says Big Ed. And then here comes Walker into the corner. Strand for 3. That one won't go. Put back by Daniel. Couldn't get it to roll. Here comes VCU the other way. Djokovic has a step. Steps through. And Daniel just a step behind. What hustle Edwin Daniel showing? But we're tied at 31.
Wow, the pace in over 2 possessions there, just up and down.
Daniel crashed, but he just took too much momentum into that putback. He was going away from the basket.
Yeah, and this place would have erupted if Strand would have hit that three.
Now Walker's going to pull up. And that jumper won't go. Djokovic gets the rebound with under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. An exciting and entertaining first 20. Djokovic has room. Thunder brought by the big guy.
See, and this is the way VCU wants to play. That just those few possessions there got VCU playing up-tempo the way they want to play, and the result is a dunk by Djokovic at the end.
And then a timeout call by Darius Nichols. And then what we saw in that stretch there is indicative of what's plagued the Explorers. They had an opportunity not only to take the lead, but get some additional momentum. 2 shots couldn't get it done, and just like that, VCU was able to counterpunch and reassert their authority.
It's been the problem all year, just finishing at the right time, and La Salle has struggled to finish at times. But here's that dunk by Djokovic.
Yeah, Ashley Walker trying to do what he can, but there's not much you're going to do when Djokovic gets that much room to wind up.
Yeah, he's an impressive player.
Averaging 13.5 points a game and just under 6 rebounds.
And you saw La Salle defending him on the three because he can make that three as well. He can extend the floor, make you come out and guard him from three. And, of course, we've seen him put the ball on the floor and then get to the basket as well. Just an impressive player thus far.
And so what we're seeing out of this La Salle team, there's only 7 wins on the season, is not shocking. The Explorers compete in almost every game they play. It's
periods of the game, just in a couple minute sections that just doesn't go their way.
Johnson having trouble, finally finds Ashley Walker. Now back out to Truth Harris. 10 on the shot clock. Harris with 9 here in the first half. Picks it up, fires a pass out to Walker for 3. That one won't go. Explorers with a wide open look, but can't can it. 3 for 9 from beyond the arc. Now Evans with exactly a minute to play. Hill trying to drive on Josiah Harris.
There's another mismatch.
Djokovic. Jaden Johnson tried to tie it up. Djokovic wouldn't have any of it. Increases the lead to 4. 17 on the game. Now Jaden Johnson. Screen set by Josiah Harris. Steps back. Truth Harris. Johnson spins, kicks back out. Jaden Marshall looking for separation. Now he's going to drive on Jennings. Pulls up, fadeaway, baseline jumper won't go. Walker keeps the rebound alive but can't control. With 19 on the shot clock, or in the game clock.
Yeah, that wasn't a good possession. There was too much standing around by the Explorers, and then they were forced to take a very difficult shot by Marshall.
And Jaden Marshall being D'd up well, desperate to try to get a shot off. He's been told many times by his coaches, you're here to shoot, get some shots up. Hill lets a defender fly by and hits it at the buzzer. And so the Rams go on a 6-0 run to close out the half. And that's how things will end after 20 minutes of play. 37-31 the count at the break. VCU on top. The Explorers came running back and took a brief lead, but it lasted less than a couple seconds. Djokovic led all scorers with 17 points and 5 rebounds in the first half. Each team with just 1 player in double digits. 7 points for Jadrian Tracy, and then 5 for Terrence Hill Jr., 4 for Nick Lewis, 2 each for Barry Evans and Brandon Jennings. The Rams shot 46% from the field, just 2 of 9 from beyond the arc and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. The Explorers are being led by Truth Harris, 10 points. Their other 2 leading scorers, well, Jaden Marshall, just 7 points. And their second leading scorer, Jerome Brewer Jr., missing his 4th consecutive game. But Rob Dockery held to just 4 points in the first half. La Salle shot 37% from the field and 3 for 9 from beyond the arc. Made 6 of 8 free throws. Really clean played first half, just 4 turnovers per team. Each team with 11 second chance points. VCU dominating the paint at 26-12. And the La Salle bench, mostly due to the 10 points by Truth Harris, outscoring VCU 13-5.
I thought Cale, Edwin Daniels did a really good job on the defensive end. He's got 3 blocks in the first half, and we've talked a lot in the first half about Djokovic and his size. Daniels has given them some problems on the inside as well with 3 blocks, and he only has 1 personal foul right now, which, you know, he's been prone to get in foul trouble. So he's got 40 use here in the second half, which is a good sign for the Explorers.
VCU closed the half on an 8-0 run, keeping La Salle scoreless for the final 2:52. That was after the Explorers took the 31-30 lead.
La Salle did a real nice job on Terrence Hill, holding him to only 5 points in the first half as well.
So I'd look at Darius Nichols there. What a tough first season it's been, and due to none of his own doing, the injuries have just decimated this team, and it's not just 1 or 2 guys. It's been a little bit of everybody missing some games. We're ready for the second 20 here at 20th and Olney. Inbounds to Josiah Harris. His hook shot off the glass. Can't get it to go. He hit one of those earlier, but this time rattles too far off. So VCU will try to add to their 8-0 run going back to the first half. Tracy to Evans. Tracy feeds Djokovic. Spurs haven't had much answer for the big guy. He pump fakes. Good defense by Josiah Harris, and then forces him into a fadeaway. Ashton Walker crosses midcourt. Looking to feed the post. Nothing there. Now Jaden Johnson with a touch. Johnson, left-handed dribble drive, hangs in the air, gets the foul, hit the bottom of the rim with the shot, but he was fouled on the play.
We've seen him do this several times tonight. Other times he uses that drive to create a pass to an open three-point shooter. But he keeps the defense on their toes, because you don't know if he's going to go directly to the hole or is he looking to kick it out for an open three-point shot.
So Johnson, who missed the entire non-conference schedule due to injury, has not really hit a rhythm from the free throw line, and he misses one here. Scoreless thus far. The La Salle point guard is the definition of a pass-first point guard. 65% from the stripe, 0 for 1 tonight.
Let's see if the Explorers can continue to control the pace on the offensive end of the floor.
Johnson makes 1 out of 2. That ends the 8-0 run, or at least curtails it, with a minute gone here in the second half. A drive, a dish, and a turnover. Just a third of the game for the Rams. Bounce pass. Josiah Harris can dunk it too.
And again, created by Jaden Johnson's ability to get into the paint.
Tracy kicks it out. Now Djokovic back to the top of the key. La Salle on a 3-0 run to open up this half. And another turnover. They only had 2 turnovers in the first half. They've had 2 in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, not a good start to the second half by VCU. Expect to see some pressure.
So the Explorers now with 6 points off those turnovers. Walker. Harris trying to post up, but Djokovic denies him, so they stay on the perimeter. Johnson pulls up, top of the foul line. Jumper no good. Rebound. Dockery chases it around, but it's corralled by the Rams. Turning up court is Jennings. Tracy with a catch. Good cover up. Now into Djokovic. Josiah Harris has him step under off the glass. That's indefensible.
Boy, you just can't let him catch it that deep into the paint. Like you said, you have no chance.
19 points in the game. Back to a 5-point VCU lead. 17:37 to play. Marshall navigates. Johnson jump passes far side. Walker fakes the 3. No baseline.
Nice
Harris.
Shot. That's nice.
Josiah Harris.
I could almost tell by the way he gathered that he was going to get a good attempt at the basket.
6 points for Josiah Harris. Baseline take. And around the horn they go. Jennings fouled by Jaden Marshall on the take. His second personal.
And that's a good example of what the La Salle coaching staff would say, that Josiah Harris basket there, playing off of 2 feet. You know, he gathered with 2 feet and went up strong.
17:06 to play. A 39-36 VCU advantage. Inbounds into the corner. Lewis. Now Evans. Evans forces his way in. Oh, Ashton Walker's going to get called for a foul. Oh, maybe Jaden Marshall.
Yeah, Evans kind of took himself into some trouble there.
So that's 3 on Jaden Marshall. The Explorers' leading scorer will go to the bench for Truth Harris, who was the leading scorer in the first half with 10 points.
That's a blow to the Explorers right there with 16:57 to go in the second half. Marshall with 3.
Lewis into the corner. A three-pointer. Nothing but net. Brandon Jennings drops the triple.
Boy, he just shot that ball so nonchalantly from 3.
Lead back up to 6 for the Rams.
Got to get up on him and apply some pressure.
Elbow. Josiah Harris. Double team comes his way. They dive to the deck, and VCU cannot keep it in play. It'll remain LaSalle basketball as Damon Strand checks into the lineup for Rob Dockery.
It was as if Josiah Harris really didn't see the second defender, but he was right there in front of him.
Explorers spread 4 across the baseline. The inbounder will be Jaden Johnson as Dockery goes to the bench.
Boy, really small team on the court for the Explorers right now, too, with Strand, Walker, Harris, both Harrises, and Johnson.
You know, among the injuries, the 7-footer Bowen Beatty didn't play a whole lot before the injury, but he had a nasty spill in practice, drew blood, hurt the shoulder, was concussed. So the Explorers don't have a lot of size even before the injury bug.
But the LaSalle coaches talked about this 4-guard offense. They seem to like what they're getting out of it.
In the corner, Johnson with just 3 on the shot clock. He's going to take a 2-pointer at the buzzer and nails it.
Yeah, nice shot in the arm for LaSalle when Jaden Johnson's pulling up and making jumpers.
He's just a 25% shooter from the field, but the Explorers needed him there, and he delivered. Djokovic trying to answer. He does.
Okay, that's an example of the St. Joe game where you just allow somebody to catch and shoot. You just can't allow that to happen. These players today are too good from 3.
Last time we were in this building, Desir Haskins went 7 for 7 from beyond the arc. Now Walker, for St. Joe's that is. Walker has his shot batted off the backboard, and here comes VCU. Evans gets it tied up. And then Lewis gets knocked to the deck by Truth Harris. He'll be on the stripe when we get back. Tonight's game is brought to you by City Fitness with 15:34 to play in the second half. VCU trying to extend their largest lead of the game. 45-38 the count. This is Explorer Basketball live on ESPN+. Cale Beer's Rich Tard joining you back at Johnny Glazier Arena inside the Explorer Athletic Center here at LaSalle University's campus. And we've alluded to it a couple times earlier, but just to give you a breakdown on just how hampered this LaSalle roster was. When they opened the season, LaSalle was playing 11 or 12 guys. And Darius Nichols said, hey, if we're winning like that, I'm going to keep playing 11, 12 guys. Well, there's not 11 bodies available to the Explorers anymore as they trail at 45-38 with 15:34 to play. Just going down the roster, Jerome Brewer Jr. was banged up at the beginning of the year, came back, was a real difference maker for the squad, and now he's been out for the last 4 games as well. He's only played 17 of the 24 games. Justin Archer had a shoulder issue that he had surgery on, done for the season. Jaden Johnson missed the entire non-conference schedule. Truth Harris missed. He is only playing in his 16th game of the Explorers 24. Noah Collier done for the season, but should be back to go. He played about 3 games this year. In fact, exactly 3 games. Nas Hart missed a bunch of games. Bowen Beatty's been out. So there's guys that, not just members of the roster, Noah Collier, Justin Archer, Jerome Brewer, were figured largely into Darius Nichols' plans this year. Done for the year.
Done for the year, and then you throw in the games that were
not
missed.
Brewer might be back, yeah.
Well, you throw in the games that were missed due to just sickness.
Yep.
What did LaSalle have, 11 different starting lineups this year?
Oh, it's like 18.
18 different starting lineups.
So the second free throw is missed, so it's an 8-point lead, which is where the Explorers were at before they rallied back to take only their second lead of the game.
I think the 11 was the number of players that missed games.
Walker draws the foul. That's going to be third on Jennings. As Jennings has been having trouble not fouling Explorer guards. He fouled Jaden Marshall.
This is a critical part of the game right here, Cale. 15-18 to go. La Salle down 8. Chance to cut it to 6 here, but you can't allow a double-digit lead by VCU.
Ashley Walker, a freshman out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, now 2 for 3 from the free throw line. So this is the 18th starting lineup tonight in 24 games.
Wow.
2 of 2 made by Ashley Walker. La Salle cuts the lead back down to 6. 15-15 to play. Lewis across the top of the key. Good movement by this VCU squad offensively. Djokovic in traffic. Oh, Truth Harris got a little bit extra going for that steal.
Wow.
Truth Harris will pick up his third personal. So now the fouls are creeping up. 3 on Marshall, 2 on Dockery, and 3 on Harris.
Here's a look at that play again.
Yeah,
he did grab his arm. Yep, good call by the official.
Nothing but skin. So here comes Damon Strand in for Truth Harris. Strand had a steal and a block in the first half, played 7 minutes. 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Djokovic in traffic. Runs over his man, gets his own miss, misses again, and now finally Ashley Walker comes out of the scrum. 1-on-2, Walker's going to take it to the record. Reverse slam, good!
La Salle giving VCU a little taste of their own medicine with the fast break basket.
Ashton Walker felt like he could outrun the 2 defenders, and he did just that. Lewis catch and shoot 3. That's a dagger. Lewis drops the triple just when the Explorers gathered some momentum and is back to a 7-point VCU lead.
Yeah, that's a big shot by Lewis there, just to step up and bang that shot and kill La Salle's momentum.
VCU's had the answer every time the Explorers have put something together. This one's around Josiah Harris's ankle. He avoids the double team, misses the layup, and then the loose ball last touched by the Rams. Edwin Daniel will check back into the game. Daniel had 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots in the first half. He replaced Josiah Harris. 49-42, VCU on top. And there's that Ashley Walker breakaway, using his body to shield himself in the rim with the reverse layup. Inbounds, Strand catch and shoot 3. It's the side of the backboard, and now VCU goes out on the break. Walker comes through. He's so good at getting steals in the open court, and he does it again.
Yeah, Bell pushed that ball really quick. Walker got his hands in there, creating a turnover.
Walker picks up his 25th steal this season, and the Explorers answer on the other side. Jaden Johnson's second field goal of the half, and the Explorers aren't going anywhere. Down 5. Bell. Tracy. Lewis on the drive, fouled on the play, and the bucket goes. What a strong take by Lewis.
Lewis is such a physical player on the offensive end. He just looks for the contact. Here he is with the spin move and then just throws his body in there, gets it up off the glass, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play.
Walker was down low, and Edwin Daniel was coming in, doing what he's supposed to do, helping out on that. I believe they gave that one to Walker. It was Ashley Walker's first foul, so the end one opportunity. That's a make, and it's back to an 8-point lead for VCU. 13:22 to play here in the second half. Jaden Johnson. It's a 15 foul in the Explorers this half. Gets it into Daniel, spins, and can't avoid the third defender.
Yep, there's those hands again by VCU.
Hill in transition, rattles it in and out, but a put back by Bell will go.
It seemed like everybody on the VCU team, with the exception of Hill, was on the glass that time.
13th offensive rebound, 13th second chance point. Darius Nichols calls a timeout with 12:59 to play as his team trails by its largest deficit of the game, 54-44 the count. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by City Fitness. This is Atlantic 10 Basketball on ESPN+. Well, VCU flexed it a little bit here in the second half. They opened their largest lead of the game, 54-44 the count with 12:59 to play on a 5-0 run. 3 for their last 4, including 3 for their last 4 from beyond the arc. La Salle just 1 for their last 5 from beyond the arc. Just putting an end note on the injury conversation we had in the last break, these Explorers, the official number is 10 players missed games this season, accounting for over 104 games. It's third only to Boston U and Binghamton. And there's also an advanced metric called production loss due to injury, and Explorers number 2 in the nation due to that.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, they made a run. Every time VCU is trying to get some separation, the Explorers trailed by 8. They retook the lead. They trailed by 8 this half, got it back down to 4, and now down 10 with 13 to play.
Yeah, that last minute reminded me a little bit of the St. Louis game. And I'll tell our fans that are listening, circle your calendars for February 20th as Rob Dockery gets a layup. February 20th, VCU goes to Fordham and plays Fordham on ESPN+, or ESPN2, excuse me. And that should be an interesting game. They've played once so far this year, and St. Louis beat VCU by 9 points.
Here's how, yeah, VCU St. Louis, not Fordham. So 12:22 to play. 54-46 into the quarter. Lewis for 3. Tried to bank it in. Didn't get it to go. Strand got the rebound. Here come the Explorers trying to put a run together. Marshall catch and shoot 3. It's up. And rims in and out. VCU. Mishandled ball and another turnover, but they get it right back. And now Lewis on the far side. Somehow, some way, that ball went right back into the hands of Emmanuel. Spin dribble, Noel, and Dockery hits the deck. And on top of it, we'll get called for a foul. So it's 11:50 to play here in the second half. It's a 54-46 VCU advantage. At the 12-minute media timeout, this is Atlantic 10 basketball, live from Philadelphia, only on ESPN+. Well, the difference in the second half, allowing VCU to open up their 10-point advantage, has been three-point shooting. That's been not news if you're an Explorer fan. VCU 3 for 5 from beyond the arc in the second half. They were just 2 for 9 from the arc in the first half. The Explorers have missed on their 2 3-point attempts. So right there alone, you're looking at a 9-point swing from beyond the arc and a 6-point game at the half. VCU has extended at one point a 10-point lead, but now a 54-46 advantage with under 12 minutes to play. Here at John E. Glazier Arena, inside the Explorer Athletic Center, the third floor, sometimes affectionately called the Attic. And it's VCU basketball.
La Salle just cannot allow VCU to go on another one of those runs.
The inbounds with under 12 to go. Noel to Evans. Evans trying to go off the drive. And a near turnover, but Josiah Harris can't keep it in play. It'll be 6 on the shot clock when VCU inbounds underneath. They get it into Tracy. Tracy's been somewhat quiet. And now mishandled pass on the perimeter off of Rob Dockery's ankle and out of play. It'll remain VCU basketball with 2 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and VCU giving Djokovic a rest, and it looks like, nope, Coach Martelli's going to send him into the game right now.
We talked about Terrence Hill Jr., the lead scorer coming off the bench, 14.5 points a game. He's 5 points in 14 minutes.
You know, the thing that's impressed me about this VCU team, too, is the way they've shared the basketball. You know, if you looked at this game, other than Djokovic, you really wouldn't know who their leading scorers are.
Explorers have to defend for 2 seconds on the shot clock. Deep out. Hill takes a three-pointer at the buzzer off the front of the rim, and Rob Dockery skies for the rebound. His 5th of the game. That defense on that shot came because they forced the shooter so deep upon the catch. Now Dockery for 3 in the corner. That one won't go. The Explorers still 0 for the arc, and then Josiah Harris has the unfortunate situation of coming down under Djokovic underneath Josiah Harris, who holds his right knee. That one he wears the Allen Iverson-like sleeve on. Well, Iverson wore it on his arm, but...
Yeah, it's not a good sign when you see him limping a little bit. I don't know if he extended his knee or
And that's already 17 fouls on the Explorers.
Couldn't have bumped knees because Josiah Harris was from behind him.
So he'll go back to the stripe. 22 points already, 7 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the free throw line.
I've enjoyed watching him play today. He's been quite the thrill to watch.
Yeah, he just came down on it awkward. And there wasn't even that much contact by Harris. But he knocked him enough off the ball that he came down on that knee awkwardly. 1-1, rattles all around and goes down. So VCU shooting the rest of the way here. Foul trouble's piling up. Marshall with 3, Dockery with 3. Second free throw won't roll.
This is the 6th time this year that Djokovic has scored over 20 points.
Now in transition, a jump ball. Great job by Tracy getting the ball back for the Rams. Jaden Marshall frustrated with himself as they tried to go up-tempo there. Catch the Rams off guard. Just
another example of how VCU shares the basketball with Djokovic dominating the game tonight, but yet it's his 6th time this year of scoring over 20. Just kind of shows you the versatility and strength of this VCU team.
Miscommunication there as they answer turnover for turnover. 5th turnover for the Rams just after the Explorers committed their 4th. Both coaches got to be happy with the way their teams have taken care of the ball thus far with 11 minutes to play.
Yeah, a little dead spot here for La Salle. They need to get a basket.
Jaden Johnson, Truth Harris, Ashley Walker, three true guards out there. Now Dockery, spin dribble, baseline, pump fake, goes to the rack, draws the foul, can't get it to go.
That was an
Djokovic's first, yeah. He did his best to get the separation, let Djokovic go up. Now Dockery goes to the stripe where he's 73%. 6 points, 6 rebounds, and he misses this one. Explorers are now 9 for 13 from the free throw line.
Just got to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you here.
He makes the second of 2. And with 10:40 to play, it's VCU 55, La Salle 47. Tracy trying to drive on Johnson. Denied on the baseline. Now cutting through is Noel. Loses the ball, and the Explorers get the steal. And then a foul behind the play is falling to the deck and rolling up on Jaden Johnson's back ankles. It's going to be Tracy. 14th foul on the Rams.
Here comes some more size into the game for VCU with Bell and Evans.
That's turnover number 7 for the Rams. Explorers have 9 points off the first 6 turnovers. Dockery trying to make it 11. Pump fakes, draws the foul, can't get the field goal to go. But it'll go to the stripe. That's Barry Evans' second foul. Team foul number 6. Number 5 now.
Got to make them pay here. You got to make these 2 foul shots. Pull this game to within 6.
Dockery has the ability to find himself on the line a lot with his size and his handle, but he misses another front end. Makes the second of 2. Dockery now with 8 points. The lead down to 7 with 10:10 to play.
This foul shooting reminds me of my golf game. I'm a really good second chance hitter.
No doubt about it. Golf won't be happening anytime soon in these parts. Still a lot of snow out there despite pretty nice mild weather today. Oh, that's a killer three-pointer. Top of the key, Terrence Hill.
Yeah, and he pushed off and got away with it. Just stepped back and hit the 3.
And that really, those 2 missed free throws linger large right there because that's a 5-point swing after the 3-pointer is made. Now Dockery's going to go drive hard, and he's fouled by Bell on the take, so Bell will get whistled for his 3rd, and Dockery finds himself in a familiar position.
And he was passing that ball, so he wasn't shooting. But, you know, we've seen him progress this year. He's become a really good interior passer once he's able to get by his man.
Evans will check out of the game. Inbounds, goes to Harris. Trying to work on Djokovic. Into the paint he goes. Back to the top. Walker, fake the three. Now he's going to drive. Pulls up with a two-pointer. He couldn't get it to go. Wide open three-pointer, down 10.
Yeah, just should have the confidence enough to pull up and take that three.
Now Hill. On Walker. Backdoor cut. Great cut and great finish by Hill.
Bell on a little bit of an isolation there, just was patient, and then Hill cut to the basket for an easy layup.
Now the largest lead of the game for the Rams. Truth Harris tries to cut into that. Double pumps off the glass and in. Truth Harris asserts himself.
Yeah, moving that ball up in the air to make sure that the much bigger defender couldn't block his shot. Gets it up on the glass for two.
First points in the second half. Now Hill rejected. Josiah Harris then steps on a player. Here come the Explorers the other way. Dockery hesitates, step through, kicks to the corner. Johnson for three. That one won't go. And they fight for the rebound to the deck. It'll be a travel as Ashley Walker tied up that ball on the rebound. The Explorers showing some fight here despite down 10.
Well, that's one thing that we have to say about this team all year long. You know, the wins haven't come in bunches, but they've never given up. This team continues to fight. They'll fight all the way to the end of this game.
Walker and Harris out. Marshall, Truth Harris, Edwin Daniel, Rob Dockery, and Jaden Johnson for the Explorers. Underneath, Dockery catches, shoots, scores, and draws the foul. Bell will be called for his third personal foul.
Boy, and he caught that ball underneath the backboard and had to actually jump backwards here. Look at it, he catches it underneath and then has to come back. Just Bell giving up too much position on the inside.
Dockery back on the stripe again. 4 for 9 from the field, just 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Gets the and one. And it's an 8-point VCU lead with 8:18 to play. Jennings to Djokovic. He has room to get on a run. Rejected by Big Ed Daniel. Then saved in, but it's going to go to the Rams. Daniel with his fourth block. In traffic, Hill covered up. Now baseline take, loses it. Bell fouled on the play. It's probably going to be 4 on Dockery. It is indeed. It's going to be 4 on Rob Dockery. And with 7:57 to play, the Explorers aren't ready to go anywhere. Playing feisty. They've cut a 12-point lead down to 7. 60-53 to count. Tonight's basketball is brought to you by City Fitness. This is Atlantic 10 basketball on ESPN+. 7:57 to play here in the second half. Cale Beers and Rich Tarr. Tonight's game is brought to you by City Fitness. An exciting one. The Explorers have only led twice, but they've not allowed VCU to run them over. We talk about this all the time with this Explorer roster depleted due to injury. There's no margin for error. It's razor thin. And so what we saw in that last play, Rich, an example of that. A potential to turn the momentum. Yeah,
for sure. You know, if you can stop them on defense, you get control of that basketball that you block, you come down and you hit a 3 or a 2, it's a different ball game right now. I mean, you could have cut it to 4, you could have cut it to 5. Instead, VCU's on the line trying to extend it to 8.
And Rob Dockery, your most dominant offensive player, picks up his 4th foul. But the front end of the 1-and-1 missed. And so the Explorers do have a chance. And again, this would be the team where an opportunity where the team could really shift momentum in their direction. Walker drives. Mid-post to Edwin Daniel. Daniel has 4 blocks, including the last possession. Goes baseline, double team creeping up behind him, and just an ill-advised forcing of a shot out of bounds. And we've seen a lot of that as well. The Explorers do not. They broke down there and settled for a contested shot. That is impossible.
Not quite sure what Edmund Daniels just kind of lost, I think, where he was on the court there, because that was nearly an impossible shot.
So with 7.5 to go, the Explorers have seen VCU lead it 60-48. But they've gone on a 5-0 run since then. Now Tracy, foul line, gets his defender to fly by and hits the easy jumper.
Yeah, Jaden Marshall just went for that pump fake. Tracy just waited for him to fly by and then casually hits a two-point shot.
Johnson turns the corner, gets trapped underneath. Shot high, no good. And here comes VCU. Tracy feeds Bell into traffic. Djokovic misses the layup, but will go to the free throw line for 2.
Is that on Marshall?
That'll be 4 on Marshall.
Yeah.
Rob Dockery come to the scorer's table with his 4 fouls.
It's a good foul with the exception that it's 4 on Marshall because it was an easy 2 by Djokovic.
And Marshall has not been able to get on track today.
And that was another example of VCU, the way they like to play. They really push that ball up the floor. They have you really hustling back on defense.
Djokovic, nothing but net on this one. Team foul number 9 on the Explorers. Marshall and Daniel out. Dockery back into the lineup with Ashton Walker. .6:54 to play. Missed the second one, but the Explorers tip it out of bounds. A long rebound, and Ashton Walker tried to back tap it, but got too much on it, went right out of play. VCU has 13 second chance points, and they gathered their 15th offensive rebound on that one.
Jaden Johnson tying his shoe right now.
Making sure he's got the puppies all tucked in there.
Referee gave him a little look like you need a little help there, son.
VCU basketball. Tracy on the drive, too short. Rebound pulled down by Josiah Harris.
The door is still open, Cale. We're down 10 with 6:37 to go.
Johnson back to the top for Truth Harris. Held the 2 points this second half. Now Rob Dockery goes to the rack, kicks to the corner. Ashton Walker probing, feeds Josiah Harris, turnaround jumper, and he rushed that one. It's been another problem for the Explorer offense, plaguing them all year. Close range misses. Now Djokovic. Dockery has to be careful with 4 fouls. Jennings buries it.
Good possession needed by La Salle here. This game could get blown wide open.
VCU now 5 for 8 from beyond the arc. The Explorers 0 for second half. Harris. To Harris. Now to a 13-point lead, just like that. Walker for 3. Pow! Ashton Walker connects the first 3-pointer of the second half, trying to keep the Explorers within reach.
Now that time, Cale, he stepped up real confident and just took that 3-point shot. We would have liked to see him do that earlier.
Unforced turnover there leads to a 2-on-1 break. No look past Jaden Johnson is fouled on the take. Good job by the Rams getting back. Bell was in the vicinity. So was Jennings. It's going to be Jennings and his 3rd foul. So Jaden Johnson will go to the free throw line. The Explorers again showing the resilience, down to by a game-high 13 points.
Yeah, and just like that, a chance to cut it to 8 after just being down 13.
Johnson hits the first. Jaden Johnson with 6 points, 7 dimes, and 2 steals. Hill back into the lineup. Sophomore point guard transfer from Old Dominion, strokes 2.
There it is. It's 8-point game.
66-58, the VCU advantage with 5.5 to go.
Now can you get a stop?
Rams have turned it over 7 times this half. Scores with 14 points off turnovers. Tracy, guarded by Truth Harris on the perimeter. Shot clock to 8. Hill driving. Pump fakes. Stripped away. Gets it back. Partially blocked. And then it's a shot clock violation.
Yep. Good Explorer defense that time.
Rob Dockery so close there. Getting in the mix, being tentatively aggressive with his 4 fouls, and got a fingertip on that shot.
Okay, Cale, 5 minutes to go. Chance to cut it to 6, possibly 5 with a 3. Let's see what kind of possession La Salle gets.
J.D. Johnson across midcourt. Dockery wants it from him. Sizes up Djokovic. He's going to take him to the rack. Now kick it back out to Truth Harris. That won't go. Rebound tipped right to Dockery. Pump fakes right back up and in for the big guy.
Continues to pound the offensive glass is Rob Dockery.
6-point game. Dockery with 13 points, 8 boards. Bell. Now a drive, a jump stop, and a pass to the perimeter. Tracy in traffic, spins, pump fakes, jumper up and in.
Boy, what a patient move by Tracy. Used good footwork, spins in the lane, and then just shoots a really soft jump shot.
Across midcourt comes Jaden Johnson, calls a timeout with 4:09 to play. La Salle hanging with the Rams. And we'll take a break. It's a 68-60 VCU advantage. Live from Glacier Arena in Philadelphia, PA. This is Atlantic 10 basketball on ESPN+. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by City Fitness. Kale Beers and Rich Tard, live from the Explorer Athletic Center and John E. Glacier Arena. As it's Atlantic 10 basketball in the city of brotherly love. 68-60 the VCU advantage, but within the last 2 minutes, VCU had opened up their largest lead of the game, 13 points. Here's your reset. The Explorers have some foul trouble. Their leading scorer, Rob Dockery, with 13 points and 8 rebounds, is playing with 4 fouls. Their leading three-point shooter, Jaden Marshall, has 4 fouls. 3 Explorers in double digits, including Dockery, a dozen each for Ashton Walker and Truth Harris. On the other side of the coin, VCU, Lazar Djokovic with 24 points. 7 rebounds. Nick Lewis and Jadrian Tracy with 11 points each. Only foul trouble is Bell with 3. LaSalle basketball with 4:05 to play after the timeout. They get it to Josiah Harris in a little bit of trouble, trapped in the corner, pivots out of it. Now jump pass deflected into the backcourt where Ashton Walker chases it down with 10 on the shot clock as it returns to the front court. In traffic, back to Dockery. Dockery sizing up Djokovic for 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Ashton Walker up and in.
Good hustle by Walker there. Ball just came up very short. Unfortunate for VCU. Just a bad bounce.
14 points for Walker. Djokovic has room. A drive and a kick to the corner. Tracy for 3. He buries it. Yeah. Tracy's had the answer each of the last 2 possessions when the Explorers have had a head of steam.
Terrific job by Djokovic to share that basketball, create an opportunity for his teammate.
For all the Explorers work to get back down to 6, it's up to 9 again. Now Dockery on Djokovic, playing with 4 fouls. Dishes it back up and underneath Josiah Harris for the layup.
And there's another example of that interior passing we talked about earlier by Rob Dockery.
Second assist for Dockery. Explorers not going anywhere. Down 7, but they need to get a stop with 2:49 to play. Hill around the horn. Loses the handle. Truth Harris pushes it ahead to Dockery. In the open court, fouled from behind. That's going to be Jennings picking up his 4th.
And nobody from VCU wants to admit to the foul there, Cale.
And Dockery, slow to get up. He has been carrying this Explorer team on his shoulder. Here's that long pass. It was just a little bit behind him. The foul should actually not be on Jennings. It should go on Tracy.
Didn't look like he took a too hard a fall there.
So they gave it to Jennings, but Tracy made the contact. So that's an advantage for the Explorers if this game gets extended. 4 fouls on Jadrian Tracy, the 3rd leading scorer. And now Dockery back to the stripe where he's now 3 for 5. Chance to make this a 5-point game. Hits the first one.
Again, there's no quit in this La Salle team. 6-point game, 2:40 to go. Chance to make it a 5-point game right here.
He does just that. It's been the Rob Dockery show for the Explorers. He's not La Salle's leading scorer, but his 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and blocked shot have been the catalyst for this La Salle comeback. Down 5 with 2.5 to play. Your VCU, are you taking any air out of the ball, or are you just playing as normal?
I think they're good enough offensively to just play as normal.
Three-pointer no good. Jaden Johnson gets the rebound, and suddenly we could be looking at a one-possession game. Johnson steps back. Here's Walker. Walker feeds Josiah Harris. Facing the bucket. Trying to get into the paint. He goes. Turnaround hook shot. No good.
That was just a terrific move. Just couldn't get it to go.
That would have cut it down to 3. Now in traffic. Jennings falling down. Dishes it off before the travel with under 2 to play. Do you like Josiah Harris just taking the mid-range jumper? He was squared up with a clean look.
I thought he got a clean look. He just didn't make it.
And Djokovic doing Djokovic things. Despite the contact, gets the shot. And we talked about this a lot this season. There's 2 sides of the court. One side, you miss a hook shot. The other side, you got a potential 3-point play. Yeah. Sometimes the game's that easy.
I mean, Djokovic has been showing his size and strength has been just tremendous all day, and he's just has such an advantage inside. He's such a skilled offensive player.
26 points. And this one. The long rebound batted out to the top. Jay Johnson has a man sprinting ahead. That's Truth Harris, but he can't get a shot off, so he sets up with 99 seconds left of the game.
It's a good job by Truth Harris to pull that basketball out and not take a bad shot.
Dockery's going to attack and sneaks a layup over the rim.
We've seen him do that several times this year where the ball seems to hit on the lower side of the basket, but he puts enough spin on it to get it up top and fall into the hoop.
17 points for Rob Dockery, and Phil Martelli Jr. calls a timeout as his 13-point lead is down to 5, and the host Explorers, led by this guy, Rob Dockery, playing with 4 fouls, but finishing strong.
I tell you, it's been an exciting game. At one point, it looked like La Salle was down 13, and it got a little scary there for them, but they just continued to play, and here we are.
Well, we talked a lot about the Explorer injuries this season, but despite that, about 2 weeks ago, well, it's going on a month now, the Explorers defeated a St. Bonaventure team, which at the time was underperforming compared to what people expected, but still was a really solid win here at Glacier Arena. Then they followed it up with what at that time we felt like was a signature win for Darius Nichols in his first year. They came out and blitzed Dayton, held on for a 3-point win, but then it ended up being Dayton plummeting after that point, which Dayton's still a very good. And then it's been 4 down for the Explorers as they haven't been able to get healthy. They played without and just not able to get into a rhythm all season.
Yeah. But, you know, teams continue to get better in this conference as well, which is going to make for a great A-10 tournament. Last night, Fordham beat St. Joe's, and we know what that's like. We went up to Fordham and lost to them as well in a critical situation where we thought it might have been a turning point in our season if we could have come away with a win.
And a game at some point the Explorers led by double digits. They've had those games where La Salle's led by double digits and not been able to pull it off. They jumped out to a double-digit lead against George Mason.
Let's take a look at what Phil Martelli drew up during that timeout. VCU going to inbound the basketball here. Let's see what type of possession they get here.
If you're the Explorers, how aggressive are you going?
Well, I think you got to lay it all on the line here.
So it's 19 fouls, so it'll be 2 shots on the next Explorer foul. Double team into the backcourt, and a near steal, but Dockery couldn't get to it in time.
So close, but yet so far away, Cale.
Shot clock's at 9. VCU has to go. Drive a kick to the corner, pump fake, now a 2-pointer that will not go, but an offensive rebound, and Rob Dockery. Just an unfortunate bounce. Dockery just took an unfortunate bounce, and now the Explorers' dominant performer No doubt about it.
Yeah, all he did was react.
Yep.
He just reacted to the basketball. Unfortunately, he hit Hill's arm.
So he's going to retire with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block shot. And now Jaden Marshall also with 4 fouls will come off the bench. And, you're going to look at this if the Explorers cannot recover from this 5-point deficit in less than a minute and say, so many possessions that could have flipped it. And now you don't have a workhorse in Rob Dockery. Hill hits the first free throw. VCU's been surprisingly spotty from the stripe tonight. That's just 8 for 16 now for a team that came in 75%. And Hill now with a dozen points. So under a minute to play. Spurs have time, but they've got to get some shots up in a hurry. Skip pass to the corner. Johnson goes up to get it. Now Marshall, a catch and shoot three, rejected, and it's going to go out of bounds. Let's say La Salle basketball with 16 on the shot clock. Djokovic is saying, hey, I blocked it. It went off Jaden Marshall, but I don't think if you're Phil Martelli Jr., you're going to risk losing a timeout to challenge that. You've got the game in hand, and if the Explorers do make it a game, you want to sit on those timeouts. 44.2 seconds to play. 75-68 VCU advantage. Marshall was out of bounds when he caught the ball. And that might be the last ditch for the Explorers. As Jaden Marshall, courtside fan, trying to say he didn't have the ball when he stepped out of bounds. But you have to reestablish when you get back in before you catch it. And I'm sure that's what the rationale was for the officials. That's just going to be the 5th turnover of the game for the Explorers. And a foul on the inbounds. They don't even let them get the ball in play. Jaden Johnson is the offender. Fouled out with 5 fouls in the second half Saturday at St. Louis. This is his first foul tonight and on the other end of the floor. We talked about in the pregame, Terrence Hill Jr., the leading scorer, averaging 14.5 points a game. Only make you 1 start this season, but he has been a factor down the stretch here, and he hits another free throw. Now 13 on the game. Second one's a make as well. Right at his season average. 9-point deficit for the Explorers as Jaden Johnson crosses midcourt. They're going to let him go all the way underneath. Kicks to Walker in the corner for 3, partially blocked. Offensive rebound, but Jaden Marshall's out of bounds when he catches it with 34.9 seconds to go. 3-point shooting again tonight. In the second half, the Explorers just 1 for 8. VCU 6 for 11. Now they just need to get it across midcourt or wait till they get fouled, and the foul will. Now it's a turnover. They're going to say that he moved on the inbounds.
Yeah, you can't walk unless it's a made basket.
And so the final timeout for the Explorers will be burned by Darius Nichols with 34.9 seconds to play. That's going to be the 12th turnover of the game for VCU. So they came into the game averaging 11. The Explorers only committing 5. And a lot of times you see a team down by 9 with that big of a turnover ratio.
Well, one of the keys for VCU has been the rebounding edge that they've had as well. On the offensive glass in particular, they've just done a terrific job against La Salle.
Yeah. 16 offensive rebounds. And probably the biggest one was the one that led to Rob Dockery fouling out of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
The stats actually pretty comparable in that department. VCU 16 offensive rebounds. They get 15 second chance points off those rebounds. The Explorers have 11 offensive rebounds, and they also have 15 second chance points.
Well, the interesting thing is it appeared as if this game was really working in La Salle's favor in terms of pace of play, but here we are. with under a minute to play, and you look up at the scoreboard, and VCU has 77 points. They average 80 a game. Just a testament to the way they played a game of basketball.
Yep. Final timeout. Spurs will try to take advantage of that miscue by Nick Lewis. And again, Ashley Walker will be running the inbounds, cannot run the baseline. The Explorers almost won a game coming from behind and stealing one against Penn when they accidentally ran the baseline, but they missed what would have been the game-winning shot after that miscue. Back at the Palestra. And here's a turnover on the inbounds. Djokovic didn't let it get it to its intended receiver. And now with 3 seconds in game and shot clocks, the Explorers will not foul. They'll let VCU dribble it out. Close but no cigar for La Salle tonight. But again, you comment on the resilience of this squad. Lost 4 in a row, and that's going to be a travel. I mean, there's ample opportunity. La Salle could have packed this in a long time ago. VCU opened up a 13-point lead late in the second half. The Explorers came battling back, had a chance to get it to a single possession.
Look at the travel, just shuffled his feet there.
We're going to bid Rich adieu, and he's going to take his wireless mic and talk to Phil Martelli Jr. here post-game, about 9 seconds. Truth Harris, pump fakes, gets the defender go by, and can't get that one to go. Josiah Harris keeps the rebound alive, but it's going to be brought down by the Rams, and the local kid, Phil Martelli Jr., gets a W at his first trip back to La Salle University with his Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame father in attendance.